Hello, and welcome to another edition of the When Hope Calls Aftershow on JLJ Media. I am one of your hosts, James Lott Jr., and of course, I could never do this alone with my fellow hopeful, Marisa Serafini.
Hello, James Lott Jr. and hopefuls alike. Here we are once again.
Yes, we are episodes 7 and 8, Surprise and About a Girl. So we're going to talk about both were great episodes. We had some movements, clearly, in there. We had some flirting. We had some serious moments. And we had some strong tests coming in there and taking care of business. I was like, oh, girl, that's right. So we'll start with Surprise. And overall, what do you think about the episode for Surprise? Episode 7.
I mean, I liked it, and I think it's still nice to get more background on Grace, even if it's not like we don't visually see it, but she tells us, so we understand like just how she looks at certain things in life, like looking towards the birthday. Like, you are one of the only people in the world that I know is like celebrates the birthday every year. But Grace is not like that. So it's nice to see, Grace's kind of take on things, and she's sad a little bit, and then and there was a lot of funny. There's a lot of Ronnie in both of these.
Yes.
We're getting more interesting backstory on him.
Yes, we are. I didn't realize there was going to be a big Ronnie through line this season. I had no clue.
I didn't think he was going to be as big as they're making him to be.
Not at all. Hardly any Pearl these couple episodes. Hardly.
I was like, her like for like what, one line?
Yeah, it was hardly any her. But you're right. They made Ronnie bigger than, I guess the Stewart family is a big thing on the show, but it was like I didn't realize that he's tying into several different things. They're all connected, but he's tying into the bank stuff and the test. I had no idea. So that was a good thing. And I love the fact that we're learning about Lillian's background, we're learning about Grace's background, we're learning about Lillian's background, so we're seeing how they both grew up so divergently different.
Yes.
That informs who they are today.
All right.
That's what I liked. So it's Lillian's birthday. It's Grace's birthday, Grace's birthday. And so the whole thing is about planning for her birthday, and she doesn't really want a birthday.
No, well, she doesn't want to celebrate it. It's not like she can avoid her birthday. She just doesn't want to celebrate it. And I think it's really sad that the reason why she doesn't want to celebrate, it reminds her of sad times. She didn't have the greatest birthdays growing up, and you feel bad for her. But also, you're like, Grace, you got to stop dwelling on the past. I know it's a big part of your life. Don't forget about it. But also, you have to remember, you're now surrounded by people who love you and who want to do something good for you. So, enjoy it.
Exactly. It must be really, when she describes how every birthday, she might get a cookie, might not get a cookie. I feel really sad for her. I was like, damn, it must really suck to have that kind of upbringing where for kids, birthdays should be fun, joyous occasion. It should be celebrating, because that's what kids do. It should be fun. And that her childhood, it sounds to me she grew up fast. In a sense.
She had to. She also grew up without a lot of love. Like a lot of people didn't pay attention to her in like a good way. Like didn't give her the emotional support that she needed.
No. And we find a music box, or Fred finds it, of course. Look, you little Fred finds a music box.
And there was a line, Fred's sick again. I'm like, dude, this kid is getting sick every episode. Shoot.
Give him some elderberry or something. I don't know what they gave him back then. Give him something, make him feel better. But he's so cute. Good little actor. Again, Hallmark picks fine child actors. They do fine child actors. So it's a cute little music box, and so we get a Grace, and we always get a Grace and Lillian moment. We always get a moment where they're together, and apparently there is. Lillian's older, so there's like this. She remembers a little more than Grace does when they were together before they were separated, and so that box reminds her she gave it to her on her 5th birthday.
Yeah.
So I was like, wow, it's a long time ago. Lillian remembers it, but Grace doesn't really remember it.
Yeah.
So it's kind of like.
Sorry. This might have been answered already, but I'm trying to remember. Do we know the age difference between the two?
Is it 3?
I think
it's 3 years.
Yeah, I was just wondering because Lillian remembers everything, but Grace doesn't.
Yeah.
Which is, a significant amount of time between each other. It's
I want to say she said it in the first episode that they were together. There was something in something when they were separated. So anybody out there watching this, if you can remind us their age difference, let us know in the comments.
Take through my old notes and I'll find it. I'm trying to remember.
Yeah, I want to say it's 3 years. I want to say 3 years. And my brother and I talk about this all the time. We're 3 years apart. There's certain things he doesn't remember. He's like, I was just a little too young, James. And like the 3 year difference when you go backwards does make a difference, I guess. So there's that. So while you're looking for that, the music was a music. So they were separate. So she remembers some certain things she doesn't. It was a happy memory. She kind of remembers that a little bit. She has a surprise party, which I was always funny. Surprise parties never go out the way they're supposed to. I've had one that didn't work out either, so that's how it works. Yeah, they didn't work out. I mean, it's like if somebody gave away something, I was like, oh, I had to pretend the surprise.
Yeah, someone threw me a surprise party, but the guy at the restaurant gave it away before I got into the room.
I hate that though, because I'm like, I do want to be surprised. Like, I do want to be surprised.
They were like, what room are we in? And the guy was like, oh, the room with the cake? Yeah, that looked delicious.
Oh my God.
And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, great.
Okay.
I know. It gets
yeah, I played it off though for the sake of to the greater good. I played it off. But anyway, so she wants to get the music box fixed because it's kind of broken. It's been around for 20 years, and we get it fixed and everything. So we're gonna work on that. So she said, meantime, coffee and a cupcake later, right? Sure. She's not excited. Grace's not excited. Sure, whatever. She's going to work. She goes to work, and then this family's coming to town to have this big anniversary party. 50th anniversary, it was? 50th anniversary?
50th anniversary. The golden
Yes.
That's huge.
That is huge. It's Ben Mendelsohn's family. That's what it was. It's his family. It's his parents. And they're coming, and Grace decides to help prep and set up. Because I've never seen another waitress there. I'm sorry. I've never seen another waitress. She's like, somebody else works there, but I've never seen one.
I was like, who's this girl?
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the exact same thing.
I was like, okay. She don't get a name or anything. And then, so she decides to stay and help prep. Lillian's worried because she's like, okay, are you doing? And it's funny thing, the sisters call each other out on stuff. I mean, I wish people in real life were like that sometimes nowadays. They will call you out. They be like, she was like, I'm paraphrasing, of course. She was like, okay, are you trying to do this on purpose? Are you trying you really trying to avoid this birthday? That's what she would have talked in today times. But she called her out on it. She was like, what are you doing?
Are you volunteering? Is she making you, or are you volunteering? I love that because we know, and I think Lillian knows too. But it's also like, Grace, come on, can't you like at least pick up on the hit that we might want to do something nice for you?
Exactly. And I love when Eleanor kind of gives that motherly advice, or auntie, or maybe auntie advice, how she has older advice. She's saying, it's going to be okay, Lillian. It's going to be okay. We're going to work it out. But I love that Grace really is kind of like, she does kind of want to help, and she wants to see what's going on, but she also feels like she doesn't want to celebrate her birthday. So she has two different things going on with her, I felt.
Well, I think at first it started off she wanted to help, and then second, she wanted to stay to give her a reason, an excuse not to celebrate her birthday.
Mm-hmm. And then she cancels on Grace. She decides to actually stay. And I was like, ooh, okay. It's just like she said, it just feels like the saddest time of the year for me. And she's like, I wrote in little notes, just being stuck in an orphanage on your birthday just must not be fun. So I just think that's kind of, so I got what was going on there. Her tune started to change slightly when Ben brought those beautiful yellow roses. I have some yellow roses growing right now in my garden. I love yellow roses. They're beautiful. And he explains how important this is. And everything has to be perfect. And she's in it, and she's in it to win it. And she's gonna do this. And it was a nice celebration. That cake was, everything was beautiful. Everything was beautiful. It was a nice celebration. Meanwhile, the kids come in right before the party starts, and we're like, so they find out she's not going to come home, and she's staying longer as everybody's gathering at the orphanage. Well, except for Gabe. What's about what he's doing something else? But Homeboy is there, of course. We'll get to that side of the story in a second too. But everybody's kind of getting ready, and they're getting ready for her to come, and it's just kind of sad that she's not. The kids coming in, the boys coming in, like, surprise, and they're like, wrong people. Wrong folks. Meanwhile, back at the ranch, literally at the ranch.
Literally.
Like literally at the ranch. I guess there is a mare about to give birth. I guess is going on.
Mm-hmm.
I was about to give birth. So I thought that's kind of cool. I think it's kind of cool there.
Show it.
What?
They didn't show it.
They didn't. I know. I want to see it. I want to see what's going on. I want to see a little baby calf and everything. They didn't do that. So what they did was, so the other story was the kids had to go follow someone. Yeah, right. I was like, kids had to go follow someone adult for like a what do you want to do later in your life kind of thing, almost like bringing somebody to work kind of thing. And Fred chose to go to the waiting thing, and that was actually very hilarious.
Oh my gosh, how funny was it? I think it's good to like this was kind of the funny story in the episode, you know, the more lighthearted comic relief type of story, because dropping place, I'm like, first of all, why are you giving a child a bunch of
I know.
why are you even letting him touch?
I know. I thought the same thing.
I'm like, what? Running? What kind of operation are you running here?
He's eating part of the pie and stuff. That was funny.
Yeah, it was still adorable, and you know, not to jump ahead, but like the lineman, he was like, I dropped your knife and fork, but don't worry, they're clean. I wiped them on my pants.
Yeah, I know. I love that.
Good thing to say.
But in that storyline, there was a little kind of moment when Chuck puts his foot in his mouth. I wrote down Chuck put his foot in his mouth. Where he says to Grace, "Well, why would you want to aspire to be a waiter or something, or work in a restaurant?" And she's like, "What's wrong with that?" I was like, "That's right, girl. Tell him." Like, "What's wrong with that?" I'm like, "Hello."
Right.
Mm-hmm.
Now have options. Think, or what did he say? Like, dream bigger.
Yeah. And she was
like I understand, but I think there was some condescension there. Like, not everyone can afford education like your family can. Not everyone can afford to send you to medical school where you can learn veterinarian practitioner, like a practice. Okay, so maybe sometimes being a waiter is the best that they can do in life. Like, heck, he's an orphan. First, he has to get a family,
right,
money and education. So if he wants to be a waiter, then do it.
Well, number two, you can't say that to somebody who's a waitress. I mean, you can't insult her. It's almost insulting her in a way. It's like, even though she's doing it to get more money, but she's a waitress. She's been a waitress before. It's like, how can you say it to somebody working in a restaurant? It's fine.
James, you only want to be a host?
Exactly. Like, what's wrong with me? I should aspire to be bigger. I should be a star.
Bigger.
If I get any bigger, it'd be crazy. But yeah, so I just thought I kind of like that he put his foot in his mouth. She got a little cold for a second. Was like, okay, I'll just talk to you later. It's like about a business.
She knew.
But she ended up having to it didn't really work out. And like the scene it was cute when Ronnie fired him. It was kind of cute.
You're fired. I don't understand. Or like when he would say, contingency budgets for plates.
Yes, I love it. You already see your budget on that. And then when Grace was like, we all get fired from our first job. It's okay. I just thought it was I was like, yeah, well, that's true. We all kind of.
I've never gotten fired. I've been let go because of budget reasons, and I've never actually like been fired because of my behavior or anything. I've been close. Not gonna lie, I've been very close. But I like to think I'm really good and professional.
There you go. Yes. Well, you are. I worked with you. You are. And so I thought, okay, that's kind of. And so Chuck decides to take him on and say, when he hears that there's a mare about to be born, he's just like, oh, can I go with you on a ranch and go out there? He's like, sure. And so they go out there. This also was very cute and telling. It was kind of like, ooh, Tess likes having, she said later, likes having a little boy around. And at first she was like, this little nuisance, like, what is he doing here?
Yeah,
that was funny.
What are you having a children in? This is not a place. This is a dangerous place for a child if left unattended.
Mm-hmm. And I wrote down, I'm Marisa now, I wrote this down because this exchange just made me chuckle. Mm-hmm. What's wrong with her? She's having a baby. Your mom's having a baby? I thought it was just a funny, it's like slapsticky kind of, it was just kind of funny. It made me laugh.
And I think it's one of those jokes you can easily miss.
Yes, definitely. I loved it. Yeah. And then, of course, Fred's mischief. He opens the gate, lets all the cows out. Those poor cows are all just running out there. They got to go up there and get them. I'm like, dang. But Tess often.
I've dealt with cows. You know, it can be a problem to wrangle them if you don't have proper horses or proper
Sure.
animals to round it out or round them up.
I'm sure. And but Tess decides, but she kind of scares Fred off. She comes after Fred, and it's funny Chuck watching his mother deal with it. She raised a boy, so she knows how boys are, and it's like literally she changed her tune. And and again, I'm softening. Tess just bugs me sometimes. I'm like, I don't like her sometimes, and I like her sometimes, and I don't like her sometimes, and I like her sometimes, and I don't like her sometimes.
She has her moments, that's for sure. And I like the realization that she had when she was too harsh. She's like, oh yeah, this is like a 6-year-old kid. I need to lighten up a little bit on him. I was treating him like a grown adult because, you know, if one of her employees did that, she might have fired them. But I think she would speak to one of the employees in that manner.
Yeah.
Then she had to quickly check herself, like, this is a child. So I got to rectify this wrong.
Yes, and again, which Hallmark does, and when calls to heart, hope calls family does really well. There's a lesson in here.
Yeah, I wrote down teachable moment.
The moment, I love it, and she does. She says, I mean, she goes, you can't run away from your problems. You have to face them, and sometimes you need to apologize to me and make right your mistakes. And I'm going to apologize to you. And I love that. I just love it. That is. And Chuck was kind of smiling as he's looking at his mom with the kid. And I thought that is a teachable moment. You can't. He literally ran, but you can't run away from your problems. So I love that.
Run away from your mistake.
Yeah.
And I liked how she also admitted that she made a mistake. Mm-hmm. So she was fixing her mistake, and now Fred needs to fix his.
Yes.
And I like this, and especially like you wouldn't expect it from Tess at this point in time in the show. Like you wouldn't expect Tess to like soften up for a child.
I know. I would have never guessed. And then she she shows them how they're wrangling all the cows. Gets to actually physically close the gate. It's almost like rectifying the wrong. Love that. Loved it. Then she teaches them how to ride a horse. That was very cute. That was very cute.
Ever ridden a horse? And he's like, no. And she's like, well, let's change that. And I like that because she didn't have to spend more time with Fred. She could have like had him fix the gate and that was it. But no, she wanted to spend more time with him, and I like that.
And then, of course, she tells one of the ranch hands, Billy, because she finds the little jacket, please give this over to the orphanage for Fred. I thought that was very cute.
I want him to be cold.
So that was very cute. But she admitted to Chuck, I was nice having a little boy around the ranch again. And he said this is the best place for a boy to be raised, to grow up on. And I thought that was a cute. I mean, the thing is, she's still hoping he will come back to the ranch. She hasn't given up. She has not given up any of that. Even if she hires Lucy, does all this stuff, she's not going to give up on that dream. Yeah, she wants her son. Yeah.
He was nowhere.
No.
She's still holding out for Chuck.
Yeah.
Girl, let it go.
Yeah, she wants her there. Now, on the other end of stuff, meanwhile, we have Lillian working with our new shaved man. Because I was wondering where he go. Like, where did he go? I mean, because he left. Remember, he left last episode. He left the orphanage. Didn't know where he went. So apparently he's working for it. I missed the name. They said she said, you're working for, I missed the name.
Hinson.
Henson? That's what I thought.
Hinson, yeah. Hinsen.
Okay. I think I wrote Henson like Jim Henson or something. That's on the whole Muppets and stuff. But I was just like, I couldn't get the name. I was like, I tried twice to listen to it, and I'm like, I can't get the name. So
closed caption.
I should do that next time. I got a little ear.
I always watch things with subtitles. Always.
I did. I'll try it. I'll do it next time.
Yeah. I'm a big proponent of subtitles. So working for Hinson.
Yes.
But he was working on a beautiful hutch.
Oh yeah, I was just gonna say that. I wrote down. I love the hutch. I want it.
And like I grew up with, my parents have like 3 hutches around the house. So like I just know, what they look like. I was like, that looked gorgeous, and it wasn't even painted.
I have one That was my grandmother's. My mother has the other two at her house, which I will take when she goes.
Yeah.
I was gonna go for a long time, of course, but when she does go, I want them for my dining room. I do have one. But he's outside working on them, and he needs help with stenciling. I thought, how cute. I was like, okay, stenciling. And Lillian walks over, and at first he's kind of cold to her, of course, because she wanted to invite him to the party, of course, and everything. And she does feel, because she really didn't, I was going to say, she really didn't give him up. She was just like out loud, like, I wonder what's going on. I mean, that whole situation was like, she was like, he did it. It's just like, she was just like, he has got here 3 days ago. Like, I don't think,
Right. I'm trying to make amends by inviting you to a party.
Yeah,
I liked how quickly Sam softened up to you. Like, and I think like he's still trying to get over, but he's like, oh yeah, what do you?
He likes her.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the problem. It's so. It's just shocking me right now, folks.
Right.
If I was a gay. Wait, show me, Marisa.
I'm for Sam and Lillian.
Me too.
More than Gabriel.
Me too.
I really like Gabriel. Come on. I'm thinking maybe we're just kind of. I don't want to say tired, but we've seen the whole Mountie relationship twice now in When Calls the Heart, and I was like, you know what? It's maybe Mounties aren't like. And I say this generally. Maybe Mounties aren't really working right now in this show, like relationship wise.
Right.
Be with Sam. Their chemistry is so much better than
off the charts. Off the charts.
So much better.
What?
The chemistry is so much better than Lily and Gabriel.
I agree. I'm shocked by it. I'm just so, because this whole season I was just kind of like Lily and Gabe, and I'm like, no, Sam.
And when you just like see something that's so much better, you're like, yeah, I want that.
I agree. I completely agree with you. And she shows them the music box, and so they do like a little trade. She'll do stenciling, he can help fix the music box. The music doesn't play. That was one thing for sure, and it fixed the outside of it. And she wants to restore it, so he said he will try. She said she would do the stenciling. He said, we learned a bit about him. He said his father taught him you should learn every skill you can. Like that. Yeah. I said that's
still true to this day.
I agree with that completely. I'm a James of all trades. But I love that. And then the funny part, because this show had so much humor in the middle of everything, I mean, it's completely way more humorous than When Calls the Heart. Yeah. When Gabe walks by and stops over and sees what's going on, because she had asked him to come to the party earlier, and it's funny because he starts to walk up close, and Sam has that big 2x4s of wood. He puts it right in front of him and kind of stops him in his tracks. I chuckled. And then Gabe goes to Joe's, our buddy Joe, for chocolates.
Yeah, and those chocolates are good.
I thought of you.
But I just saw like the chocolate box. I was like, I want that.
I totally thought of you. I totally thought of you.
I want chocolate now, darn it.
Yes. And so then while Gabe is there, because we'll get into that storyline saying, but he gets a telegram about where Russell Meeks is on a stagecoach. The whole thing, he's going to try to catch a train. So he gets it while he's there, but he does get the chocolate box of chocolates, and later he does give it to Grace later. But that's the whole thing. He was getting chocolates. Sam and Lillian, literally just chemistry all around. He fixes the box where the music's playing partially, I guess, at the time. But then he says, let me hold on to it. I'll bring it to the party. So I was like, he's going to fix it.
Extra varnish. Oh, yeah. I put it in like the fifth line of my notes. He's going to fix it.
Yeah, going to fix it. He's going to fix it. So I thought that was kind of cute. But again, their chemistry off the charts. I like them together.
I love them.
Love them together. So that's going on. So meanwhile, the only other big thing that happened was that, once again, Gabe is on the run trying to catch somebody. He's trying to catch Russell Meeks now. Out there, and he missed the coach stop at first. The coach had already left. They said there's only one person on there. He finally catches up to the actual stagecoach. They say the guy got off in the middle of nowhere with his bags, was like, see ya. And then Gabe finds him. He finds Russell. in this little cabin, you know, when he had a gun, he had a bag stuff, but it didn't turn out the way I thought it was going to turn out.
Right. But I'm like, he's also running too. He's also part of this. So, like, he might not be the main culprit, but he's definitely an accessory.
That's what I thought. Because he mentions it, he goes, well, he said, I didn't really see the books. I saw them, but I didn't see them. But Sinclair doesn't know that. I guess he thinks he saw them. I was like, Russell, you're in danger, girl. That's all I was thinking. You're gonna be in danger. You know, the little reference he goes.
We also learned that Mike Sinclair had an attitude issue.
Yes.
That's clear. So
and
not happy with his current work situation.
No. And he operates, his operation is bigger than we thought, that he invests in businesses and asks for bigger cuts. I wrote see Ronnie. So it tied into the Ronnie thing.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh. It's like, no.
Somewhat of a Ponzi scheme.
Mm-hmm. It's connecting.
Yeah.
So yeah, so she got some more. So he left Russell there to be scared to death, I guess. We'll see what happens with him. And meanwhile, we still don't know where Sinclair is. He's out there somewhere. I feel that's gonna come to fruition.
Probably the finale. I mean, we're already on episode 7, and this episode, or like this storyline, has been established since the first episode. So I feel like that's a finale.
Yes.
Or penultimate finale.
I agree.
Answer.
And then the last bit of that is the Benz family. It was a great thing, and it was a great celebration. Everybody was happy. The mother says, this was the best day. It's as good as anything in Hamilton. We keep mentioning Hamilton, of course. And then Ronnie awkwardly sends Grace upstairs and awkwardly tries to keep her occupied.
To the patio balcony.
Yeah.
It had like nothing there. This has happened to me too. Someone tried to distract me, brought me into a completely empty room, talked like literally nonsense. This was at AfterBuzz actually. Talked like nonsense, like, hey Marisa, we want to get you started on this and this and this. What are your thoughts? And I'm like, what? It was just like completely random topics. And then 2 minutes later, I walked out and they presented me with cake. So like, it just, you know, it's so random and out of place. You knew something was gonna happen.
And it did. She came back downstairs, surprise, and they're all there. And you know, Gabe is everybody's there. Except first Gabe doesn't come there at first. First he sees them over there, goes over to his office, and like just kind of takes a seat. He sees Gabe and Lillian in the window. So he's a little hurt, I think. And he takes a little breath, I guess. Then he collects himself and comes over. But the cute part of it all is, first of all, the cake was huge. I wrote that down. The cake was huge.
That looked delicious.
It did. It was huge. I was like, first, I want to. The kids made stars for her. She likes stars. That was very cute. And Chuck gives her a picnic basket to go back to the whole thing. They're non-dates.
Do-over. They need a do-over.
And that's not even the most important part of it, kids. She gives him a kiss on the cheek.
Oh, yeah.
All the kids are, ooh, that was cute, the kids doing that. I was like,
ooh.
I was like, wow.
Children.
Mm-hmm. I love Chuck and her together. I love Chuck. He's my favorite character. I love Chuck.
Yeah, Chuck is great.
He's hilarious.
And coming from a mother such as Tess, like, I'm glad that Chuck turned out to be a nice guy, because he could have turned out so much worse.
Yes, I agree. And at the very end, we get our Lillian and Grace moment, which I like that. And she gives her the music box, and the music works.
It works. And I loved how, like, Lillian realized, or, like, didn't realize that Sam fixed it. Like, she never opened it. And so I think that's like, ooh, Sam also did that? What? And especially even at the birthday party, there was that shot of Lillian and Sam in the window, and Gabe just got all jealous. He did not like that. He stormed into that party real quick. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of jealousy going on.
He did not like that. So that was that episode. And so then we go into About a Girl, episode 8, which was about several girls. I was thinking about that. That's kind of overall thought was like, well, it's about this girl came to town. It's about Helen. It's about several girls and about Grace, basically, and about Lillian, so to speak, and about I mean, there's about a lot of girls. You know, there's a line in this episode where they mention it's about a girl when Nurse Maggie grabs it, goes, what's going on? It's about a girl. And like she runs off to help a girl.
There's the
I like
title.
that. I like that. So what do you think about this episode? What's your overall thoughts on this episode?
Good, because I like how we're finally wrapping out the Helen grandfather storyline. Even though, sorry, I think last week I was like getting the two girls confused, Helen and the other.
Sophia.
Yeah, Sophia. Those when they were fighting Helen. But like after seeing that side of Helen, I don't know. I'm just like, yes, find her grandfather, go away. Not to sound terrible, but I'm like, all right, I'm kind of over Helen. So like, yeah, we'll get into it.
Yeah, I'll get to that, of course.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was interesting. So a lot of things. Okay, so another nice episode. Lillian and Sam. To see them. He fixed the kitchen window. Cute exchange in the beginning about lists.
Yeah, here's the list.
There's the list. He's like, there's that list. There's that list.
That's the second time she tried to get him to do that list.
Yes, and I love it. I think that'd be kind of a fun through line if the show continues. But I heard her list. I think it's kind of a fun thing.
Right. But I loved what they said. The enemy of spontaneity, and spontaneity is the enemy of efficiency. I'm like, all right, I'm gonna use that.
But she came back with I've got her line. I forgot to write it down, but she says something like something is the enemy, is efficiency is the enemy. She says something that's really good.
Spontaneity is the enemy of efficiency.
Wait, what did he say first?
He said, fixing this. I don't have that part of the
I know. I missed it. He said that. Yeah, he said that first, and she said that. That's what it was. Like, I liked it.
Something about like being prepared.
Yeah, that was cute. You guys, you guys out there can tell us in the comments. Now, I like that. I like that exchange.
Mm-hmm.
As an organizer, I understand. So that was kind of fun. But then again, another telegram comes. Eleanor goes with a telegram. We found the grandfather, and the lawyer is coming to town. I went, oh, okay. I think that's okay. I think we're doing that. And mostly her storyline, which I thought was very tough. It was like this guy comes, and his name is why don't I get his name? Where's his name down? Oh, Mr. Talbot. Yes, Mr. Talbot comes to town, and he has to interview the girl. So like, let's see, because I guess there was some fraud that happened last year in another town.
Yeah, I was feeling a lot of like Anastasia and the Romanovs right now.
Oh yeah, I remember that. Yes.
Really, the authentic granddaughter of this guy.
Right.
I liked it, and I understand for like, legality's sake, we got to make sure it's the correct daughter. Or granddaughter. No, I agree. I got where, at first I was like, is he mean? Like, no, he's not mean. He's just doing his job. He really just wants to figure this out. Because obviously anybody in an orphanage would want to have a rich person as a grandfather. But I totally get that. But she's so young, and she was separated when they were so young. You learn some of her story, of course. And that is, her parents were named, her last name is McNeil. Her parents were Ethel and John. She was 7 when they died. That's young. Yeah.
She knew him as Grandpapa. She didn't know his name. And that was that one and nickname were the two, that one and nickname where he's from were the 3 things that stumped her, apparently. That he was like, I just have to go. You're just whatever.
The girl we're looking for.
Right. When he mentioned the scar thing, as a nurse, said the same thing as Liz said, well, scar, it probably said she was 2 years old, she had a scar. It could have gone away by, at 12 or whatever. It could have gone away. I was like, that doesn't, not all scars last forever because kids change and grow so much.
Mm-hmm.
I was thinking the same thing. But birthmark would be a different story. Birthmark's one thing. But when he said scar, I was like, I don't know about that. But apparently 4 years ago in the Hamilton, but back to Hamilton again. We need to go to Hamilton. We need a show in Hamilton, you guys. Another spinoff.
Hamilton.
Yeah.
It's a ritzy place.
Yeah, they did. Ritzy titsy, as they say. So he said they ran, and it happened with another girl, and the matron of the orphanage was in on a scam. They were in on a scam, trying to get her to do it. So it's like, really, I was like, no, I get it. And I totally get it.
I want the money. reward
Well,
money.
honey, they want him. But she did say in the interview that her grandfather's from Bayswater. So that's a very important point to remember.
Mhm.
But anyway, so everybody's sad. They're all sad. And, what we're going to do. And Sam kind of
Mhm.
comes to the rescue in an unexpected way.
Yeah, I like that.
He does. He's like, let's get her mind off it. And they're trying to teach Helen horseshoes. I love horseshoes. I used to play horseshoes when I was a kid. So horseshoes.
I played it. I mean, heck, my backyard was a barn, so we definitely had horseshoes.
Yeah, my aunt had a farm, so we used to go to her farm and play horseshoes. Um,
And I like that because it shows that Sam didn't also have to do that. And I think he's been through his days where he's been upset, and sometimes you just need something to take your mind off of things, just something relaxing.
I agree. But it triggers a memory. He lived in London. And so she's like, and again, to true Brian Bird and Alfonso Moreno fashion, never lose hope. I always thought that's their through line in their shows. Wait, because he's leaving. He's gonna leave town. He's like, bye. He's like, you didn't pass, so bye.
And I like that because we've seen Lily, and she found her sister, so she knows there's just a lot of hurdles you have to get over when you truly are looking for someone. And I like it. It came from those two. They're like, you don't lose hope because we know it's possible.
Yes. And so she remembered he lived in London. They stage a little, the town comes together, as they do on these shows, to stall Mr. Talbot, who's about to leave on a stagecoach and go away. So they actually made it stall it. Chuck made it they stalled it so that it would have to go all the way around this whole thing and be a couple of hours, and so that kind of worked. And they had to rally the town together to kind of like, come on, give her a chance, come on, that stuff. That was kind of cute.
And it's also like I like that because usually when you get more witnesses, a person is more likely to do something when they know they're being watched. So, and I liked how the town came together. That I think, other than the fire in the first episode, I think this is probably one of the second moment we've actually seen the town work together.
I agree. So
we need more moments like that.
I agree. And so he does decide to give her a second chance. She says he's from London, and Bayswater is a neighborhood in London. And he's still not convinced fully until she says, I remember my grandfather's nickname, Poppy.
Poppy. Cute.
And the grandfather's name we learned is Edward Martin. That's the name we learned. And that's his name. So she gets to go home with her grandfather. I was like, but they're going to do some paperwork and all this stuff together, and then instructions. But she gets to go. Because also they mentioned that locket again. I thought of you. She mentioned a locket. Like, said, I have a locket. He goes, never mentioned a locket in any of the stuff. I thought of Marisa. Like,
no, I was like, well, open the darn thing.
That's what I said too.
Show us a picture of your grandfather or something.
Right.
Come on.
Right.
Like, this locket, I swear, it has to have a bigger purpose. It's really
it should, right?
This is like the third, fourth episode we've gotten this locket. We still haven't really seen what's in it.
I thought of you. I was like, that locket.
Those things that's literally right in front of your face, and it's like you just want the answers when it's just right there. Mm-hmm. It's under your nose, literally under your nose.
I agree.
It has to have a big purpose.
Yes, I agree. So there we go to I'll go to the next, like, kind of a smaller storyline, but kind of, I think it was kind of comic relief too a little bit. Joanna Larkins comes to town. Mm-hmm. Ronnie is now advertised the hotel as like this big spa experience.
Restorative properties.
I love that, restorative properties. I love that.
Ronnie has a lot of bait and switch moments.
Yes, he does.
You're selling yourself really big right now for what little that you actually have to offer.
I know.
And he's a businessman. Whatever attracts business. Sure, I guess it worked. But because even when he was explaining it, he's like, not the hotel, the town is restorative properties. We'll put that in the flyer. Come on.
I know. It's like, so he did that. So she was looking for him. So he was smart, and he grabbed Nurse Maggie. And Nurse Maggie took him.
I don't think that was out of smartness. I think it was out of convenience. She
Well,
just
in the end, it was smart for doing that. In the end, I guess.
he just happened to walk through the door and unfortunately got like he just passed it to her. Like, you take care of her now, not my problem.
And she did. Took her out in nature, which I always agree, nature is always a good thing. But as she felt, I know how it feels. She got eaten alive. First, she swallowed an insect, and she got bitten where they love my skin. Mosquitoes, stuff, they love my skin.
Have I shown you the picture where one year I had 43 bug bites?
No.
They love me.
Oh, yeah. They like our
It
sweet.
was awful. And I had to put baking soda and water paste all up and down my legs.
Yep.
It was messy. Trust me.
I get it, girl. I know. I know what it's like.
Yeah, and yeah, so no, bugs love me. I think it's my Filipino blood.
Mine was my tropical blood, my Caribbean blood, I guess, or something. They just love it. So I understood where she was coming from, but the whole point she was trying to show her to get back to nature, which I love that. It's like get back to nature, and she was asking her questions along the way, like, do you seem unhappy? Are you happy? Are you not happy? She's an elevator operator. She does.
I wrote in my note, depression. I was like, first, she's stuck in an elevator with one door, small compartment. She sees a lot of people, but she doesn't really talk to them, so she doesn't have meaningful conversations. Like, I've been there. Hello, AfterBuzz.
Exactly. Right. Exactly. Yeah. Oh.
I completely understand, like, being stuck in a very, very small box all day. Like, yeah, that is depressing. I'd be depressed for her. Shoot.
So, but in the end, because of the whole town experience and helping the girl and seeing what's happening there, she does feel better and says she's going to volunteer at an orphanage in Hamilton. Volunteer. I said, that's right, girl. We need a Hamilton spinoff.
No, I think that's good. She needs interaction. She needs positive interaction, because I think the only interaction she might have gotten was like a high, but nothing really in return. But like actually volunteering does something psychologically to people, and that's why a lot of people volunteer, because it does make people happier when they volunteer.
I agree with that. I agree. I volunteer in things, and I agree with that. I completely giving back does help you personally. It feeds you also. So exactly. It's a great thing. It's a really great thing. And then we have, let's see, the major storyline that was going on. We have two major storylines that are going on, but this one, I'll say that for last. We'll go to the Ronnie thing. So Shady Guy is back. I call him Shady Guy.
I have curly rude guy. Curly hair rude guy.
I mean, rude. And so he shows up looking for Ronnie. And like Ronnie ain't there right now. He's at the ranch. That scene was so funny too, actually. Oh my God, him hiding amongst the cows.
Yeah, him. I was like, Ronnie, you're such a coward right
now. A coward.
Coward.
Thank you. Yeah, so that was kind of funny, but
it makes you think, like, how deep is Ronnie if he's hiding in the cows?
But earlier, Gabe was trying to talk to him. That's the whole thing. And he keeps saying, I'm just really busy, stuttering, nervous. I'm just really busy. Like, you can come to my office. Can we do it here? No, come to my office. So Gabe nervously goes to his office, and I kind of chuckle in that one. It was kind of, he's just stuttering away. And he basically lies and says that Tess is financing him. Even though Gabe talked to the new bank manager and was like, his loan was turned down.
It was like, you didn't get money from the bank, so where did you get your money? And lying. Now also, like, everything that Tess has done for you, now also lying about her, that she bankrolled you. Nah. It's not cool, Ronnie. Nope. Ronnie's becoming dislikable every episode.
I told you. And I know it. I agree with you. And then he gets Tess, who says at first, I'm not going to do it. He gets her to lie for him. And I know she was conflicted. She's many things, but I don't think she's a liar. That's the one thing about it. I think she's many things, but I think that's one thing. She has integrity of some sort, I feel like.
Well, I think it's hard because we see Tess actually helping him, like genuinely helping him because he is family, because her late husband helped Ronnie for so long. Like, it was 2 episodes, she just gave him a lot of money. So, and now that after everything she's done for Ronnie, now he's asking her to lie. That's just like that's just low. That's not cool.
It is. And she's not happy about it either. She told him she's not happy about it. And so when Gabe talked to her, that was a tough situation. She's just kind of like, she had to lie, but well, they don't, what's funny, they don't show us. It's like, did you banquet? Did you? And it goes away. And then later she says to him, it was an interesting choice to do that too. And then she later says to him, I lied for you and I'm not really happy about this.
Yeah.
She was not happy about it.
Ronnie's got to make it up.
But I mean, I guess she cares about herself. And see, Chuck said a few episodes ago, you shouldn't get involved with him and all his crap and all his mess, basically. But that's her brother-in-law. He's family. And so she's going to stick with family. But Mr. Shady guy, rude curly head guy, shows up again while what's his name is hiding up in some hay. And Tess comes out with her, I wrote with her posse. That's what I wrote. Tess and her posse.
Yeah.
And cover the entrance of the barn. And she was like, no, we ain't gonna do this.
Yes, get off the property. I like that, and it shows just like the lengths that Tess is about to go to, because like dealing with her business is one thing, but like getting involved in someone else's is a whole nother deal.
Yes, but she laid it out. She laid it all out. She was like, okay, so this is what's gonna happen. And she laid it all out. I was like, one, you will not be coming back out here again. Number two, we only deal with Sinclair. You're like, no, sending you out here, and your people out here, you're going to take care of that. I mean, she laid it out. She was just like, no, we ain't gonna do this.
And we're not doing messenger. We're like, take out the middleman.
Mm-hmm.
Go straight to the source.
I was like, yeah, girl. She told them all about it. She's like, nope, this is not gonna happen.
Nope. Time for that.
Nope, you don't got time for that. She's like, nope, you're not gonna do that. So she staked her claim, and her man back there were waiting, and he sauntered on out back to for whence he came, and he was gone. And so, but she's looking at us like, come on down from there. But she's just kind of like, she's doing it because she cares about him, and she's doing it, and I get it. And I think it's gonna bite her in the butt later, but that's fair. You think it's her family sometimes, I guess. That's the point, I guess. And then the other big storyline, which I was like, I knew she was going to leave because clearly the show would be over if she left. But it was very interesting to learn more about Grace because her friend comes to town. First of all, how many redheads out there in the world? All these gingers running around.
Okay, so I wrote this down. Where in my notes? But it's not a coincidence that Eve looks like Lily.
Yes.
It's no coincidence because Eve obviously became a surrogate sister when Grace lost Lily, and it makes sense that Grace would befriend someone such as Eve. For the looks, but like also Eve has to realize, years have passed. People grow up. Like, I mean, and dreams and ambitions might still be there, but like priorities are different now.
But she was like, they were best friends. They were like sisters. Eve Gardner, they were like sisters. And she tells Lily a little more, like, we had bullies. She had a bully. I took care of him best I could. Our dream was New York. Grace was really happy to see her. It's almost one of those things of like, you happy to see your old friend, of course. Part of your past. You're happy to see them. Right. They were together 7 years in orphanages. And then, but I think 5 of those years again, then when she left the orphanage, they met up again or something. But the whole thing was, their dream was to go to New York City with 5 million people. I started laughing back then. 5 million people. Few more than that there now, but yeah, 5 million people in New York City, and they had dreams of having big dreams, but Eve comes in and like helps the restaurant, and comes to the house, and she's like really kind and everything, but keeps kind of reminding her, we had this dream, girl, and then I love her and Chuck's exchange, hilarious. When she's like, I don't think she's a one-horse town type of girl, town kind of girl, and he goes, I really can assure you, there's more than one horse here. Made me laugh out loud.
Because I mean, like, Eve's never been there. She's a stranger to the place. She doesn't know the town or the people or the feel. And she's coming in already thinking like this place is not good enough for Grace. And she comes all high and mighty a little bit.
She did. It's like this little small town, and it's a small town clearly, but that, like you said, it was they grew up with this dream. Sure, in orphanage, I'm sure you're dreaming of like big things, I'm sure. But she was refusing to see at first that Grace was settled there and that she was good there. She found her sister and she had a life there. Even when she had the 2 train tickets. And that scene where Lillian's looking out the window, just like scared, a little bit like, is she going to leave? Is she going to go to New York? Is she going to really do this? I thought, wow, it was a very powerful scene. It was like, wow, that's really interesting. Like, she just got her sister.
Yeah. And she went, and but Grace was really considering it. She was considering her options, but I think after all these episodes now, like, we know that Grace isn't the kind of person who would just up and leave.
No.
Like, she's invested so much time already into that orphanage, into those kids, into her sister, into her new job. It was like, she's not one of those people who would just up and leave.
Yeah. And again, we didn't know what was going to happen. They cut away to them hugging with the tickets. Later, when Talbot and Eve are leaving together on the same stagecoach, we find out she basically said no. And I love that Chuck was like, I don't want you to leave.
Don't leave.
And he's like, okay. And he felt embarrassed a little bit, but it was so cute. It was so sweet. We love that. And he goes, I have to go see a horse. One of many in this town. And he walks out and she smiled. He smiled. I thought it was cute. I laughed.
Yeah.
Cute.
Bringing
his clients.
his many clients. No, I like that, but also like the moment where he was willing to admit his feelings towards Grace. Like, no, I want you to stay. Do not leave me. Yeah. I was like, all right, Chuck, you go after your woman. That's right.
I think it's Chuck and Grace, and Lillian and Sam. I think Gabe would be the odd man out, unless they decide to make it a triangle with those. But
like, Gabe is someone else. It doesn't have to be with Lily.
I agree.
I think there are more options in. I mean, Maggie's single, but I think people are trying to peg Maggie
and Joe.
No, we really didn't see a lot of him in this episode, if at all.
No, not really at all this time.
But I think there has to be other single women in that town.
Yeah, yes, right.
Sphincters,
Right, I agree. But I am shocked how much I'm all for Sam and Lillian. I'm like, wow, okay, I'm in.
But I'm for it, and I'm not shocked because I'm like, this one works, and I think producers or directors or whatever or any writer would know when characters aren't working together and working well with other people.
Yeah, I do.
I think that's just the nature of producers, where like when they realize something's not working, put them with someone else that does work better.
Yeah.
Create another option where Gabe has another woman that he's way more compatible with.
Yes. So folks out there, of course, comment. Tell us what you think, of course, about this. I mean, do you think we're completely wrong? Again, we have not seen any episodes past episode 8, so we don't know what's going to happen for the last 2 episodes yet. We don't know. So we're just going on what we see now. So don't give any spoilers away. Some of you guys have been really good not be giving spoilers away in the comments. But go ahead and just let us know if you agree with us, if you like Gabe and Ernie. I mean, just let us know. Tell us what you think. We appreciate that. And that's episode 7 and 8.
Yeah.
When Hope Calls.
I'm gonna hashtag Lillian and Sam. What's their ship name? Cillian?
Lamb.
Lamb?
Cillian Lamb. Cillian.
I imagine his name is short for Samuel or something. Or Sam.
Lamuel? Liliol? I don't know. I think I almost got Lamb. Lam.
Well, we know Sam is here for the rest of the season, so I think something might happen with them, and I am for it.
We got two episodes left to watch, kids. And that's it. I mean, that's it. So you guys, that means one more episode of this show next week, but we're going to cover the last 2 episodes, and it's been fun. And I know that When Hope Calls has been retweeting the show out again. And thanks for actually retweeting our show out. We always tell people, watch the episode there and then watch us afterwards. Watch the episode there and watch us afterwards, get more reacquainted. And again, we haven't heard about season 2 yet. There's no word yet. So
still no notification.
So we keep our fingers crossed. I wanted to continue. We love great programming. It's a great show.
If the show ends on a cliffhanger, it definitely needs a season 2.
Give us a movie or something. If you're gonna do that.
Yeah, wrap it out or something. But There are so many more stories that the show could come up with.
I agree.
It's insane.
Oh, yes.
The whole town.
Yeah.
The town, the people. There's so many more stories they can easily come up with to keep it going.
I agree. I mean, and like I said, they're unfolding a lot of stuff. So there's more to tell. There's more stuff to tell. So come on, Hallmark Channel, give us a season 2. Just do it. Just do it.
Well, and I think also the thing, I mean, it didn't originally air on Hallmark Channel. It was on the Hallmark Now app. It was a very already limited place to get it. So I think now it's having a rerun on Hallmark Channel. Now more people are seeing it because it's on a bigger platform.
I agree. And I understood the premise and why they did it. I get it. Why they put it on there. I get it. But it's a great companion piece to When Calls the Heart. I think it should be Sunday nights, these 2 shows. Leave it at that.
Or like Sunday, Monday night. So like
Monday night, 1 or 2, yeah. You know, either one, but just keep them going. Keep them kind of paired together. They're 2 very different shows, but they're the same thing.
Or, well, I know how Hallmark does, because like once When Calls the Heart ends, Goodwitch takes its place. Oh, yeah. I was like, when Calls the Heart ends, they could have the next season of When Hope Calls come in.
They could do that.
Like Goodwitch would like thrive in the Halloween fall time.
Oh yeah.
Witch and magic. I mean, the first 7 movies is all about Halloween. So.
That's so funny.
I feel like Goodwitch would actually maybe do better in the fall. Fall kind of airing, not a spring.
Chesapeake Shores, when does that air? That's summer?
That's the summer. Yeah, it starts usually August and ends in late September, early October.
So they could do Goodwitch Drive. They could do When Calls the Heart, When Hope Calls, Chesapeake Shores, Goodwitch.
Yeah. Goodwitch would end start October, but then all the Christmas movies come.
Yeah.
And I think that's why. But it would, the Goodwitch would end, and then When Calls the Heart would come back. Like, honestly, if I helped run Hallmark Channel, that's what I would do.
I agree with you, actually. I agree with you. I'm in. That's what HBO did. They did 9 o'clock slot on Sundays. It was Sex and the City. When that ended, it was 6 Feet Under. When that ended, it was Sopranos. When that ended, they had something at that time slot every part of the year that would just take over.
I'm great at scheduling. I can program your shows.
She did scheduling. She knows scheduling. Yes, she does know scheduling too. Yeah, no, it's well. Thank you guys, everybody. Thank you, hopefuls and hearties, everybody who's watching the show. Thank you so much for joining us again for the When Hope Calls After Show on JLJ Media. Follow us on JLJ Media. There's a whole playlist of so far all the episodes we've done so far on there. Go ahead and like, subscribe, and comment. There's like a little button or something down there. Just hit it and do that. So you guys are subscribing to my page, so thank you very much. This way, that way, so like that away. My little Wizard of Oz reference. Go that away. But no, you guys have been actually following my channel, so thank you so much. I have a lot of programming on there. I have some new shows starting on there, so thank you. I have my Studio City after show if you like soaps. That is on there right now too. I started doing that one. It's a good one too. Marisa, tell them where they can find you on the interweb.
Everyone can follow me at Serafini TV.
It's very simple for her. Just Serafini TV. Just type it in. She's there. And you know where you can find me, James Lott Jr. Where all James Lott Jr.'s are sold at James Lott Jr.'s on all social media platforms. Everywhere. Just type it in. And follow me on TikTok. I have some stuff on there. But thank you, Marisa, and I'm so happy to see you again on screen. I can't believe that next week's our last episode together.
Yeah, only one more.
I'm like, we have no other shows left to do. What's going on?
We got to think of something else.
We got to think of something else. They like us together. We got to think of something else.
I have ideas.
Okay, she has ideas. Okay. Everyone, take care, you guys. Please be safe and sane during the strange time period, and we'll see you next time.